What if hope isn't dead? What if even in the middle of heartbreak, loss, addiction, broken relationships, and all of the things we wrestle with every day, there's still something worth holding on to? Because that's exactly what the Red Clay Strays explore on their brand new album, Grateful. After spending some time with the band and hearing the songs live, I don't think this is just another Red Clay Strays record. I think it might be the album people need right now.
And I'd say, encapsulates where we're at in life right now, but we've always been grateful, honestly. I mean, so it kind of encapsulates us in general, just since we've been doing this, since we've been able to make money playing music and not have to work like a 9-to-5, we've been grateful.
So let's get into it. This video is sponsored by our friends at Marshwear Clothing, but more on them later. This is the third full-length studio album from the Red Clay Strays, and honestly, it feels like a combination of everything they've been building toward. Because this band didn't just appear overnight. Since the late 2010s, they've been grinding it out in small ballrooms around Mobile, Alabama, building a loyal following one show at a time. And then came wondering why. Suddenly the whole world knew who they were. The venues got bigger, the crowds got louder, then they won Group of the Year at the CMAs. They started touring all over the world. And what's fascinating is that most bands would use that moment to make an album celebrating success. Instead, the Red Clay Strays made an album about struggle, about loss and faith, gratitude, about finding light when everything around you feels dark. Have you ever had that moment where you reach for someone you love, but no matter how hard you try, you just can't pull them back? It's like standing in a dark room, calling their name and waiting for them to turn around. That's really the ache sitting underneath so much of the album. But what makes the Red Clay Strays special is that no matter how dark the story gets, they always seem to leave a light on somewhere in the distance. You hear that immediately with the opening song, Demons in Your Choir. The song begins almost like a Sunday morning church service, and what's crazy is that they didn't even use a full choir, just a handful of background vocalists. Yet somehow those harmonies feel enormous. I was getting to shoot the music video, the full-blown choir in the background.
They're actors.
It was actors.
Yeah, they weren't in real choir.
But some of them actually could sing really well. Yeah. And we pulled a couple.
So they didn't even, it's a studio recording track, I guess.
Yeah.
But, so they didn't even sing like at all?
Well, like a couple.
It's not even a real choir on the record. It's just 4 singers singing. They layered it over and over again.
See, I feel like a lot of people, they just kind of assume, like me. That's just really interesting how it all came about.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, Dave does a good job with doing that, so.
The entire song kind of feels like this desperation for the light, and Brandon's voice absolutely soars here. It moves back and forth almost like we're clapping along in a church pew, but it never loses that signature southern rock feeling that became such a part of their sound. And as the album continues, that struggle only gets deeper. Because later we arrive at Can't Fix You. Those electric guitars sway and follow Brandon's voice beautifully. But lyrically, it's kind of sad. Because it's that moment where you realize you can't carry someone anymore. You can't fix them. You can't force them to change. All you can do is walk beside them and hope they find their way. And sometimes that's the hardest kind of love there is. But then we arrive at one of the most heartbreaking songs off the record, Walking Away. Pack your things and leave. Have you guys ever thought that you found the one, whether you've been together for a few weeks or a few months or even a year? You give someone your whole world, and somehow that love never fully comes back. Now they're gone, they've walked away, and everything you poured yourself into disappears with them. The way Brandon sings this song, I picture him sitting right outside his front door after she leaves, just staring into the distance, thinking about every moment, repeating those thoughts over and over. It's like, time after time he says, I just wanted to be loved unconditionally. The guitars, the piano, the organ, everything feels cinematic, like you're watching somebody wrestle with a decision. Do I just stay here in this pain, or do I keep moving forward?
But by the end, his voice rises, the tempo lifts, and the band just goes crazy.
And it feels like he's made his choice. He's not done loving yet. And that's something I kept coming back to while listening to this album. Even in its darkest moments, the Reckless Strays never seem interested in staying there. They're always looking towards something greater, and that's where the album begins to turn.
Because after all of that searching and after all of that heartbreak, the album kind of breathes a little bit.
The next track we'll talk about is Fool's Gold, and this is when it feels like the reward. This feels like finally finding the person who doesn't give up on you. The one who stays and the one who's different. The Strays sing, "You're my flower, I'm your honeybee." And suddenly all of that loneliness from earlier in the album begins to disappear.
This was probably my favorite at the album release show, and it was funny because before Brandon started singing the song, he was like, "I'm not looking forward to this song. It's, Dave Cobb, the producer. He got me going all in my high register and stuff." So he definitely has to go high and hit that note. But he killed it, and it just sounded great. Was there a song off of this record that was maybe like the most challenging from the idea, like the creation of it, to like the final studio recording? Was there one that was a little bit harder to pin down, or it's taken longer? Or... That's a good question.
Probably Fool's Gold.
Fool's Gold. Fix You was hard.
Fix You wasn't that hard.
For me, it was.
Musically, Fool's Gold
I could never get it.
I thought musically, Fool's Gold was super easy.
We had to come up with that whole ending outro.
Yeah, that's true.
Couldn't figure out how to end it.
To me, Fix You was hard. I could not get that one. It was so weird on the bass to try to get that pinned down. And then I think the one that took the longest was honestly like Grateful, because we had to wait to get the backup singers on it.
The energy reminds me of what Wasting Time did on their previous album. It's uplifting and exciting. It's like a celebration. Because when you finally find that person that makes you feel alive, all of those failed relationships and all of those false starts suddenly don't matter anymore. You finally made it, and you're going to dance about it.
The same feeling continues on to one of my favorites, If I Didn't Know You.
If I didn't know you.
And yes, this is the song connected to comedian Matt Rife because he was in the music video. The band and him are actually friends. Matt was at the album release show too, and you can even spot him in some of the photos.
But what makes the song so special is the story behind it. Drew wrote it for his wife.
It's about reaching a crossroads in life and realizing that one person completely changed your direction. Like, if I never met you, I'd be lost. If I never saw you, it's like I never even saw the sun.
I really do think it's one of the most complete love songs that the Reckless Strays have ever recorded.
It's pure devotion and gratitude, pure belonging, and those themes become incredibly important as we move forward toward the end of the album. But before we get there, the Reckless Strays remind us exactly who they are.
Because no Reckless Strays album would be complete without a little bit of Southern rock.
And they absolutely deliver. The lead single, People Hatin', is one of the best examples. And honestly, it feels like a rock anthem built for the times we're living in.
Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's taking sides. Everybody's mad about something.
Yet, despite coming from different backgrounds themselves, the members of the band have managed to stay together. And that's what makes this song so powerful. It's a statement. No matter the noise or the hate, keep moving forward. They even performed it at the CMAs when they won Group of the Year. It's just pure rock therapy. Then they keep the momentum rolling with Back Down South.
This one feels like we're going straight back to the 70s, wide open road, a little bit of freedom, some Leonard Skinner spirit.
Back down south.
The band has been everywhere lately, Europe, big cities, concrete jungles, but eventually they always find themselves pulled back home, back down south. And those guitars are just flat out groovy. Then comes Don't Wanna Know, and somehow they even go back further.
This song feels like pure 50s and 60s rock and roll. That's the best way to describe it.
'Cause I know it ain't good.
The main character gets stuck knowing about his cousin Billy's affair and wrestles with whether to stay loyal to family or do what's right. It's really about the burden of carrying a secret and knowing that Billy's lies are eventually going to catch up with him. But beneath all of the guitars and all of the energy, this is where I think the heart of the album truly lives. Because what the Reckless Strays do better than almost anyone right now isn't making you rock out. It's making you look inward. Their lyrics pull you back to yourself. I'm Still Fine, a song off their last album, was kind of built around that idea, that life hurts, that you can become bruised and battered, but somehow still stand. And that energy carries itself into one of the most important songs off the entire album, Do Today. The song begins as a delicate piano ballad, slow, gentle, and reflective.
Do today.
Then the guitars slowly begin to appear, and the message unfolds. What I love about this song is that it doesn't tell you what your struggles are. You already know them. The song assumes you've been carrying something. And instead of asking you to just solve your entire life, the song is kind of asking you one thing. What can you do today? What's the first step? It's kind of like the Strays are saying, I believe you can make it. For the band, that hope is deeply connected to faith, and honestly, that's the heartbeat of the entire record. Love, healing, hope, and faith.
I guess I mainly hope people just feel like they're not alone, you know, like they feel seen.
It's kind of always our goal. That they're not alone in the feelings that they're feeling.
Yeah, like you should appreciate life for the good things you have, and don't hate your life because of the bad things.
Because the bad things, you know, like they say, doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. I think it's a literal thing.
The music video is also beautiful, and I think fans are going to be talking about it for years. And Brandon even joked at the album release show that the first time they played it live, everybody was completely silent. At first he thought something was wrong, and then he realized people were crying. And honestly, I get it. Because if Do Today is the question, then revival is the answer. After the sorrow, after the heartbreak, after feeling defeated, the band sings, "Come to the water, let's have a revival." And when that chorus arrives, it feels massive. It's like an entire crowd singing together. For me, this is worship music in its purest form. I grew up listening to all kinds of Christian music, and while I appreciate all of it, there's something about the song that feels incredibly genuine. I watch people lifting their hands in the crowd. Something about the Reckless Strays seems capable of bringing people closer to God without ever fitting neatly into one category. The album keeps asking, where do we go from here? And Revival answers that question. Trust, faith, letting something bigger than yourself carry the weight. And once you do that, you realize you can rise again. Which brings us to the final song, Grateful. And honestly, it's the perfect ending, because this is where every thread on the album finally comes together.
Whenever I'm humble, I'm lost and when I'm found.
Just like Revival, it's a song that makes you want to lift your hands and makes you think about the little things we often overlook, the blessings we forget, the people we love, the moments we rush past, even in sorrow and struggle. Gratitude changes everything. At the album release show, they had a photo booth set up. My wife and I took a picture together. Later, they posted all of those photos online to their Instagram story with Grateful attached to them. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of cool, and there was something beautiful about that. Because that's what this song asks us to do. Pause, look around, and remember that there's always something to be grateful for. And I think so far that's why this album has connected with so many people, because it doesn't ignore that life is hard, but it also refuses to let those things have the final word. Song after song, the Reckless Strays keep pointing towards something bigger. Love, faith, grace, gratitude, hope, and maybe that's exactly why this album feels so important right now, because in a world constantly reminding us what's broken, Grateful reminds us there's still something worth believing in.
A year from now, when you look back on Grateful, what do you hope this album represents in the bigger picture, like of the story of the Reckless Strays?
I really don't think about stuff like that.
I know, that's a tough
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with
It'll
us.
be the
our
last good
thoughts
album we
about
ever
it.
made.
Yeah, we beat the first record, We never really liked the way that one sounded, but the second record was awesome, you know, and then we're like, dang, we're gonna have to beat that. So this one, I feel like we beat it again. Hopefully everybody else agrees, but then it's like, what do we do after this? How?
Yeah.
We just added backup singers. I don't know how much bigger we can make it.
It's gonna end up like we're Dewey Cox or something, trying to make the perfect song and add like a goat track or something.
That's awesome.
We'll see. I'm excited to see what the future holds. I think we're really excited to get back in the studio though.
Yeah.
That's kind of the biggest thing with all of it is like when you first decide to make the leap, you know, of taking a chance to do this. It's kind of like, all right, God, I'm going to do this and I'm going to trust you. And your will be done, not mine. So in that process, you kind of just stop expecting your own thing to happen. Now, of course, you hope that you're going to be okay. Like you hope you're going to be able to provide for your family and stuff like that. But you're kind of just leaving that up to God. And that's why you just kind of get rid of your own expectations. I mean, maybe the album is received very well and does a lot, or maybe not. But God's will be done either way.
And let me know your favorite song in the comments below off of Grateful. Mine probably has to be Fool's Gold or Do Today. I think Do Today is probably one of the most beautiful songs they've recorded so far. And of course, we had to give the band some marshwear hats.
They do a lot of hunting, fishing apparel and stuff like that. But if someone's into hats,
Yeah, we'll take them.
go for it.
I don't know. We can send you guys some.
Cool.
I like it.
Yeah, someone's gonna start wearing it, and it's like, oh, we need more of this.
Yeah.
I need that.
Definitely check them out if you haven't yet. And I just found it awesome and hilarious that Drew the next day during sound check at CMA Fest at Nissan Stadium, he was wearing the marshwear hat. So I think it's safe to say that he approved. But I want to give a thanks to Matthew Coleman, who is Brandon's brother, who's also a main songwriter for the Red Clay Strays and does a lot of their media, photos, and video. He saw our last video and he kind of made this interview happen for us. Next time he needs to be in it himself, but thanks again for just setting this up. I really appreciate it. Other than that, y'all, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care.